guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, hi, I'm Pete. Now on today's video, as you probably seen by the thumbnail or title, I will be trying to repot my Cissus Discolor or Begonia Vine into Spag. Now this honestly will be my this will be honestly my only cringing repot to Spag, just because if you guys already know, these things are finicky. This has to be the most finicky. Is that a word? I mean, this plant here is like the most sensitive plant that I have to this day, and hopefully my begonia video is out. If not, well, if so, well, I covered some of what happened to this, what happened to her, and I explained on that video. Just basically, she is an actual OG, guys. But as you can see, this is not OG status. Now, the original plant or original mother plant before she died, I tried to save her and prop her, right? Yeah, it didn't work. So she eventually, I'm not gonna say I think, it was my fault because I soaked the spag that she was in, and I wouldn't say soaked. Yeah, it was soaked. The water that she was in, I actually left it in there, and then I switched it over. Long story short, I was trying to multitask, and sometimes I just really can't get it together. But anyway, you wouldn't believe she is maybe pushing 4 or 5 years old. Again, the mother plant, the actual vine or trunk or whatever you want to call that, stem maybe, on her was very thick. I mean, yeah, she was pretty thick. And on the video, I explained that, of course, I've been trying to grow her over the less work and talk. But of course, I, been trying to keep her together or alive over the years, but I didn't really have the conditions for them. And now that I do, as you can see, she is growing just fine. And I actually propped her from a leaf cutting, and something told me to just chop her and, prop it, and I did. And thank God I did, because if I hadn't, then she would have just, but yeah, as you can see, guys, I don't know if you can see that, but she is double potted. When I put her in here, it was just so that she can sit inside of this little planter here, because this is a real small pot. Let's do this, and again, it's gonna come out rather. So at least would like to show you before I take it off. But she is in a little smaller pot, maybe 2-3 inches, if that. Not sure, but there it is. And what I did, guys, I cut the bottom out of her and stuck her down back in some soil so that she would still feel secure and tight, but also still have room to grow. And if you see here at the bottom that I just noticed pulling her out, there are roots growing straight through. So she's doing pretty good. And like I said before, I am just basically taking her out and putting her, I don't know if I want to do just spag in here or maybe spag inside of the pot. I say that because if I do regular spag in here without the pot, there's a lot more surface area that I can cover with spag without the pot being in there. I'm trying to think, but I don't think I did my other ones like that, so I'm going to use the pot. But let's go ahead and get started. I've been talking entirely too long. Probably again because this is kind of cringing, is even though it's good to see those roots, and my grow tent is really doing what she needs to do. But yeah, I wanted to get her out of here because you probably can't tell, but that soil is very moist. And long story short, she was sitting at the top corner of my grow tent, and I decided to move the fan right above it to redirect some of the humidity from the humidifier. Good idea, but the execution not so good. The water that was accumulating on the fan was just strange. It was like something out of, what's the name of that movie? Final Destination. It was like dripping directly. I mean, it was hitting like directly on the stem and just pouring and pouring. And then this here, holds water at the bottom. And I just walked by one day and looked. I'm like, why is that full of water? And I'm like, then the dirt looks a lot of darker than what it should be. And I checked it, and I just started pouring out water. I was just horrified at that point. But luckily, well, as you can see from the bending of the leaves right here, check that purple out of. But the bending of the leaves here, the first 3.5 kind of sort of are bent because of the water. So I just hope, guys, doing this I don't mess her up, because again, she is an OG, like really. And before they even went crazy with a lot of the enthusiasts, I was getting them at a good price, but no one was able to actually ship them properly. And I end up just putting 2, because I bought like maybe a 8-inch hanging basket of them, maybe 2, and they both came in horrible. But I did salvage the roots and stuff, and this is what is left. I'm going to try my best to find some pictures. They're probably on my Instagram thread or either in my my Google pictures. So I'll check and try to insert some videos or pictures. But let's go ahead and get moving on this. I've been thinking like I shouldn't, just because of, again, you see the roots, but I need to fix this root problem anyway so that the roots don't continue to grow, and then this whole thing is messed up because I have to disturb the root system even more. So what I'm going to do, where's this one here? Let's just slide this up for now. What I am going to do is, of course, this is my aeroid mix. Now the mix that I'm putting in here is not totally aeroid mix. It holds a little bit more water, retains a little bit more. Oh, look at that. Oh God, oh my God, no. Okay, so as you can see, the roots were wrapped all the way around the side, but as you see here, come on, I'm trying to make this process quick so I can get her back inside the grow tent, but crap, and back in the warmth and all this other stuff. Is that rooted? Okay, no. So if you look here, I cut the bottom out, and ever since then she has been growing through there. And honestly, this is the first time I've ever seen the white roots. I usually see like the little brown thread ones. I don't know if that's like when they get older or mature. Anyway, older or mature. Let's just keep moving. So now I can honestly slightly, without disturbing any of the roots, and again, they look pretty healthy. This moss is definitely not wet, so, and this soil, well, even though the soil, well, I say personally what works for me is when you, let's cover this up while I rant, is when you're getting soils and your plants and you're trying to transfer them over to different soils or substrates, however you want to put it. if you're going from a wet substrate from your plant, so say if it's like waterlogged, you got it from a nursery or something, then I would most definitely not use wet or damp soil. I would definitely use dry soil at that point because it's wet. Now, if your plants are growing perfectly healthily fine, like mine, in moist conditions, then I would mock those same conditions. So I wouldn't directly wet or soak my spag like I did the mother plant, which rotted her out like that. But she's moist enough to actually match the soil that it came out of. But let me go ahead and I'm gonna rinse her off. I'm a little scared, but just gonna dip. Now I was thinking about scarring this top part here and using well, those are technically nodes as well, and I could cut her and have her to spread, but there's no way. I'm going to wait till this vine gets a lot thicker, maybe a lot longer, I would say, before I chop her and prop her. But yeah, let's keep it moving. I'm going to again use the same container she came out in, which of course, as you guys can tell, which is one of my favorite plant producers, is Costa Farm from Exotic Angels, if I'm not mistaken. All right, guys, so what we're going to do, let's pull this down a little so you can see what's going on here. All right, so what we're going to do is, of course, put a little spag down in the bottom to try and prevent what you just seen, but, you know, of course, that won't always happen. Let's put some more in here. There we go. And also, you don't want to pack it down because of the air that's in it. Now I'm going to get these roots down in here before they try to dry out on me, and that would not be good. All right. And of course, you're going to fill her in with spag. Now guys, we're going to keep every finger and toe crossed. Do me a favor, go in there and cross your spouse's fingers, your children's fingers, call your parents and call your loved ones, your friends. Hell, even go in and tell your neighbor, cross your fingers. We need some luck. Pete needs some luck on his struggling Begonia Vine. Well, hopefully. I just said that, Lord. It's out there now. Too bad. She's not struggling, but, you know, I did just pull a good one here, guys, and I'm just afraid that I will lose her. And honestly, again, I'm down here in the South, so the plant nurseries are not all that equipped with the things that I see you guys like in the North or on the West Coast. Those kind of plants. Even some of you guys can go to like a farmer's market and find those plants, like I think is it Ashley Anita, shopping with Ashley. Let's just say shopping with Ashley. It might be shopping with Ashley Anita. I'm not sure. The Anita part doesn't sound like it's ringing a bell. It's just, I don't know, but I do know it's shopping with Ashley, and she is in, I think it's North Carolina or South Carolina, one of the Carolinas, guys, and like it's inward. And she was able to go to some of the actual farmers market, and I think she found that I seen on her trip around to the nurseries were a couple of these guys here. You probably seen it as well. If not, go check her channel out. But she found a couple of these nice sizes and a couple of baskets, and I'm like, well, I can't even. Just here, we can't. I can't, or they can't, or won't. I don't know what's the problem, but finding things like this is impossible unless I'm just not looking in the right places. And I mean, Google only does so much, Facebook only does so much, and I don't know. But again, I'm ranting on a little bit. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3. That's enough water. So I just dipped it. I don't know if you can see the water line right there. Just dipped it in some water. A pull in and a pull out, and that was it. So that is it for this quick little repot. I am going to go and place her back inside of the grow tent just so that everything, I guess, will be okay. Hopefully, I pray, since I did this crazy thing. But yeah, as you can see how she's growing, I am doing a project with her, and the only reason she's facing this way, which is the wrong way, is because I moved her and just didn't move her back, and now she's facing the light. So yeah, but what I'm going to do, guys, is, since the cleanup is very minimum compared to some of my last videos, I'm going to let you guys sit here with me while I think I'm sitting on it. Yep, I got it. Well, here's the pot, guys. You can finally see it now. Just cut the hole out the bottom, so you know how that goes. Plant feels. What's the word? It feels. I don't know. Let's just say the growing space is too big for it, which usually means overwatering, and which is why I had a complete hissy fit when I seen all that water down inside of it. But this bag will definitely help, and also keep up with the watering as well with that humidity from my humidifier. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do now, I think I have maybe a video or two more to do tonight, not sure, but what I do know is that I have to finish this here, which is a project. So stay tuned, guys, and I'll be right back. Well, yeah, I'll be right back. I'm going to probably do it in the morning since it's kind of late, but I will finish this video, like I said, in the morning, because I'm working on a project where she's going to be housed, and I'm not moving her because she was outside. And again, outside, the temperature, especially during the growth season, is spectacular. So I'm just going to have to, and then you get those, the leaves are just huge naturally, and the light hits it, and then all the coloring comes in on it. It's just, this plant is wonderful. But as you can see, she's getting her color in, but you can't really beat that sunlight, so yeah, I am going to, this is wonderful, especially that dark purple. Again, the camera does it no justice, but you can see the difference. There's a dark from that one. There's a dark, like velvety sheen, purple, maroon that goes down the middle. The newer leaves actually look better than the older leaves. I think the color fades as it gets older, mature. Don't quote me on that. It might be the other way around, but I'm pretty sure as they get mature, the color starts to dwell a little bit. But yeah, guys, I'm going to finish this project in the morning, and you guys are going to be there with me once I finish. I could just go ahead and added to this video as well. Just the process of what I'm doing, which shouldn't take no more than hopefully 10 minutes. But yeah, guys, that is it for this part of the video. I will see you guys on the next part. Of course, I had to make sure that was it, because I usually forget something, even though I know that this was the only one left. But yeah, guys, I will see you on the next video. Alright, guys, so I decided to show you guys how I'm going to set up my Begonia vine. Now, this little rack here came from my other grow tent. Of course, the height of it, of my plants that I have down there, wouldn't fit, so I had to take it off. But now I figured out a way to repurpose it. As you can see there, that is my fan that I use to circulate some of the humidity. I am currently going to get another one, I think today, once the sun comes up and they open. I'm going to pick up another one. They're only $5 and it's a USB import kind of fan. Now, again, this rack came from a smaller rack of mine that has plants on it as well. Now, in order for you to secure this to make sure it doesn't move, I use my trusty fishing wire to secure it down. And of course I use the fishing wire, guys, just because it's clear and you can't see it unless you're like directly eyeballing, looking straight into it. Also, when you're using, well, if you guys have used some fishing line in this kind of way or fashion, or even trying to thread your fishing pole, you know that it takes a while, and I can tell you, trying to thread this thing around the actual pole of the grow tent or of the rack, it was kind of stressful because that plastic is pretty, I wrapped it pretty tight, you know, just to secure, to make sure the moisture does not leak out in any kind of crazy crevices. Now once you get it around there, as you can, well, probably can't see from this angle, I'm doing your basic tie knot, tying it twice and pulling it to make sure that it doesn't rock. And since my plant, my Begonia vine will sit on it, that is the last thing you need to do for it to fall over and rock and fall over and break your plant, I'm pretty sure, in half, because it will be growing on this little contraption that I made. But again, you're just going to make your basic ties on this, and what I usually do is cut off the extra just for aesthetic purposes. You don't have to, but I'm pretty sure you would, only because of how it will look, and that's on anything. And guys, if you don't know, well, now you know. I use this fishing line, however you want to say it, on almost all of my plants. And again, this wire you can't see unless you're up on it. So once I do my, I guess, grow tent tour, or start to do my plant tours, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. And all the ones I can tell you that are in my grow tent have been tied up, especially if there are some kind of aeroid of that kind, as you can see right there in front of you, the two on the moss hole that I made. Of course, I can guarantee you down at the base, they were tied. And of course, you know, with most of the aeroids, you have to grow, they have to grow themselves into a pole or into a slack of wood or a tree. And in order for that to happen, of course, you have to, it either has to find what it wants to trail on, or you have to encourage it by tying it and pushing it, you know, flush against it, so that the roots will know, hey, there's something here we can grab onto and pull ourselves up. And of course, once they start the climbing process, depending on the plant, you know, the leaves change, the colors might change, and also the shape of the leaf itself might change as well. and usually that's with maturity. Did I mention size? Yes, the size of the leaves hopefully will get a lot better. Now, as you can see, I am trying to place my begonia vine onto this rack so that it can use its tendrils to go ahead and wrap itself around the pole and start to pull itself up. Now, with this, guys, it's kind of like your aeroids. The tendrils will, depending on how mature the tendrils are, they will wrap and pull, and they will get real. As the plant grows and matures, those tendrils will get a lot thicker and stronger. So hopefully I can go ahead and get them to attach and start to train it up and down this here project of mine, or rack. Now, as time goes on, you know, I will chop her and try to prop her maybe 2 or 3 more times, just so I can fill in the racks a lot more instead of just waiting on that one plant. Now, I have completed that, which is very easy, guys, and I just turned the light back on, and what I'm going to do now is flip the camera around so you can get a better point of view. Now, as you can see, guys, I've just tied her down so that this rack wouldn't move at all. Again, we don't want anything to fall over and break. And as you can see, I did do the transfer process. Hopefully you watched the beginning of the video and you will see that I've done that as well. But as you can see, she sits directly at the top under my grow light, so that those pretty colors that you're seeing will stay more prominent, and also so that she's not stretching all over the place. I would rather her spend more time on making those gorgeous leaves than stretching for the light. So this is why she is sitting up top where she's sitting now, so that she gets more access to this light that I have. Now, these guys, for me, they are very, very fast growers. This will be my first time actually putting her inside of any kind of grow tent. Now, mind you, previously she sat either outside hanging up, or, you know, I've switched her around a million times, guys, from climbing to trailing to hanging, and throughout the years, you know, she stuck with me, never dropped a leaf. Of course, she was a little upset when I repotted her and the top would droop, but with the humidity and the times that I did it during like the summer and spring, she bounced right back within a few days and started growing like a weed again. But yeah, for me, she grows pretty good outside of the grow tent, but I've made a conscious decision that she will spend the rest of her days right there, guys.